Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon. Welcome to the State and History, aka TDH. I, of course, am A.O. Xander. You, viewer, you, and the Golden Loon will be here shortly, hopefully soon. Anyway, today is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with the year. What year are we starting with here? 238. Year of the Six Emperors. Now, keep in mind, this was not on either source as of last night and this morning, so this might be an error. But it says here, the Roman Senate outlawed Emperor Maximinius Thrax for his bloodthirsty prescriptions in Rome and nominated two of its members, Papinius and Balbinus, to the throne. Now, this might have been on some other point, so I'm not sure where this came from. Moving on up to 1056, new supernova crab nebula last seen by the naked eye.
Ooh.
Dang. Hey, what a time to come in. Yeah.
Nubula nobula.
Nibula nubula?
Nobula.
Ah. Nobla.
What's up?
Many things.
Where
How
we
are
at?
you? And
I'm
you
good.
are?
The Golden Loon.
Welcome to the show. 1145 here, we have the 19th recorded perihelion passage of Halley's Comet. We talk about that comet almost every day.
Yeah.
3070, building began on the Bastille Fortress in Paris. This is one image of it.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it's telling me to image search this. So
You
yeah,
telling me they made that in the 1100s?
1300s.
Still 100?
It began, yeah.
1300s? Okay.
Well, I mean, by the 1400s, they had gunpowder. So, and they had castles for a couple hundred years. 1100, like I think castles came like before the thousands. I'm not sure. Like when you know what, Mott and Bailey. When did Mott and Bailey happen? I don't know how else to phrase that question. Let's see here. These are, I believe, the earliest types of castles, Mott and Bailey's. Says here, one contemporary account of these structures comes from Jean de Coligny around 1130,
Whoa.
describing the Calais region in northern France. So
Okay.
now Mott and Bailey it's a very simplistic type
Yeah,
of castle.
I get that.
They have here on its own, you can see how it's on a hill.
Yeah.
They artificially create the hill, or if there is a hill there, they build there. That's the fortress, and then the rest of the town is over here, separated by a drawbridge. This one so happens to have a water-filled moat, but they did have dry moats, things filled with sticks, stuff like that. So even if they came and captured this part, then they have the actual fortress to attack.
Yeah.
So earliest types of castles, to my knowledge. Yeah, so 1100, so there you go. 1453, Ottoman Turks transported their first ships over land into the Golden Horn, bypassing the chain barrier protecting Constantinople. Now, to answer a couple of questions, one, Constantinople's harbor had this like massive chain or series of chains, so that way they prevent ships from coming in or all that stuff. Or if they want to stop somebody from leaving, they have those chains. They lower them to allow ships to pass through, but then they raise them to create a block. So it was rather smart.
Almost like mines without the boom.
Yes. Well, especially since back then ships were made of wood, so if you ran into
Yeah.
them at any type of speed, it'll chew you up. Now, the Golden Horn sounds to me like a landmass. So, like, because we spoke about that yesterday, and I was just like, what is the Golden Horn? Is it a fleet or something? No, right there, that's the Golden Horn. It's a major urban waterway and the primary inlet into the Bosphorus in Istanbul, Turkey, as a natural estuary that connects with the Bosphorus Strait at the point where the strait meets the Sea of Marmara. The waters of the Golden Horn help define the northern boundary of the peninsula, constituting Old Istanbul, ancient Byzantium, and Constantinople, the tip of which is the predominatory of Sarajevo or Sarajevo Point. Would you mind closing that window, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. So basically, I image searched this, and viewers don't mind the. I'll be right back. I'm gonna help. There we go. There we go. Viewers don't mind that. Don't mind the leaf blowers. That's it right there. They legitimately carried their ships, like not carry, but like they drag their ships over land. we have here an image, and you see that they're literally, you see that all the way up the mountain. They're hauling the ships up over the mountains.
Good Lord.
That's wild. Like I have another image here. They have it on wheels. It's being depicted on wheels like that. So they actually like legitimately took their ships over, and I actually have a clip that kind of describes that.
I'm sorry, Master, but this river is too narrow to boat over. I'm afraid we're going to have to abandon the gear.
No, we're not gonna abandon the gear. We'll pull the boat over that mountain.
You heard him? Get to work!
So they proceed to pull the boat over the mountain, and after they get to the top, though, disaster strikes. Yeah, and I hope I didn't get copyright for that, but yeah, you know, I'm going to add this clip in the underbar section. Let's see, Metalocalypse, I believe I spelled that correctly. That's a scene from a show I used to watch back in the day. This clip actually is 14 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a rather old show, so... Anyway, what else do we got here? 1500, Pedro Alvares Cabral was the first European to discover Brazil, landing near Monte Pascoal, claiming it for Portugal. So Portuguese navigator Pedro Alvares Cabral landed in Brazil. This is the discovery of Brazil. It's telling me to image search this, so I will do so real quick. So, let's see, there's something here to read. In 1500, discovered... Come on. And claimed Brazil for Portugal. Other Portuguese captains established trading posts in the South China Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and the Arabian Sea. These water routes to the east undercut the power of the Italian city-states, and Lisbon became Europe's new trade capital. Dang. And I think that might have been, you know, the European powers being undercut. I think some of that must have been Venice, if that wasn't already incorporated into Italy. Well, I'm not sure when they would have done that. But yeah, here's a map of that those trade routes and all that stuff right there. So, what else we got here? 1519, Spanish conquistador Hernan Cortez established settlement at Veracruz, Mexico. So happy birthday, Veracruz. 1521, French King Francois I declared war against Holy Roman Emperor Charles V and the Habsburg Empire. And we've spoken about Habsburgs. There's Holy Roman Emperor. Oh, French King. Yeah. Okay. So the Holy Roman Emperor was a Habsburg. You can tell by the chin right there.
Yeah.
Half a millennia ago, we have another 5 centuries ago.
Wow.
2 in a row. 1526, first slave revolt in North America at San Miguel de Guadalupe, a Spanish settlement, now part of South Carolina.
Oh.
Wow. So the first slave revolt in North America occurred at San Miguel de Guadalupe, a Spanish settlement, now part of South Carolina. Primary source edited. 1529, Treaty of Zaragoza, Spain and Portugal divided Eastern Hemisphere. So the Treaty of Zaragoza divided the Eastern Hemisphere between Spain and Portugal along a line of 297.5 leagues, or 1,250 kilometers, or 780 miles, east of the Moluccas. Now, like, I'm gonna image search this really.
No idea what that means.
That's they're dividing up the map of the known world.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Now,
but I don't know what the Moluccas and stuff are.
Well, I got some landmass east of the Moluccas. Now, I want to showcase something really interesting. So, this is that map right there, and this was about between Spain and Portugal. Now, there's a scene in the new Shogun, because you know about the old series.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the new one. I'm sure they did this in the old one as well. But like, look at this map here. You see where the line is here, like they're dividing up the land and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you can see the this route.
Yeah.
Right there. Now there's a scene that I want to show you.
My master asks that later you write this map and mark the Portuguese bases.
If I may, I will explain now.
Do those lines look familiar?
Yeah.
This is the way Portugal and Spain carved up the New World.
He's talking about the
70
treaty we
years ago,
just
they
covered.
signed a treaty that split undiscovered land between them, your country.
Now, I'm not going to play any more of this because of copyright stuff, but I'll hold on to it if you want. Like, I'd like to show you this entire scene. I'd love to actually see this series, so I'm going to figure out a time in which to do so. But yeah, like that's the treaty right there. And like 100 years later is when, because remember 1600 was when the events of Shogun took place. So this was 1526.
So at least 100 years. Or
Well,
thereabouts.
roughly 100 years until the events that scene that we just saw. So that's that's
Yeah.
really cool to take actual historical events.
Yeah,
And
and there
then,
it is.
and granted, like, it is revolving around, but actually see it as like, oh, now I
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know the word for it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know
It's
exactly
wild.
what you're talking about.
5029, 1601, first expedition of the English East India Company to the Spice Islands of the Moluccas departed Torbay. 1608, Dutch trading ship arrived at the Kingdom of Longano, modern Congo, to acquire ivory. Their king requested audience with VOC official Pieter van den Broeke. Okay, there's this one here. And we all know about VOC, Dutch East India Company. 1659, Lord Protector Richard Cromwell disbanded English Parliament. That's not good. 1692, Edward Bishop was jailed for proposing flogging as a cure for witchcraft in Salem, Massachusetts. Well, at least you're not killing somebody, but that still is torture. Like, there is such a thing as fate's worse than death.
Flogging's pretty vicious.
Yeah. 1712, it was the last sighting of the Dutch ship Zoetrop as it left Cape of Good Hope carrying a cargo of silver with 200 crew and passengers. The wreck was discovered later in 1927 north of Perth in Western Australia. Wow. So it got far. Not sure how far away from its destination it went, but it was like they had silver. So where were they going? This was from the Netherlands, Dutch. I don't think they had anything to do with Australia. So what are they doing over in Perth? That's weird. 1721, HMS Seahorse infected with smallpox arrived in Boston Harbor, causing the first outbreak in 2 decades. Half of the population caught it, causing 850 deaths.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's why, what's the term? Quarantine?
Yeah.
It actually derives from French. I forgot the 2 words, but it means hold for 2 days or something like that, or not 2 days, but 2 weeks.
It's a French word.
Yeah, it derives from a French. I'm gonna look it up just so that way I don't seem like a complete idiot. Origin of the word quarantine. Is a restriction movement? An act to oblige ships coming from places infected more effectively to perform their quarantine. It's not
Give me a definition.
Oh, here we go. The word quarantine comes from the Italian quarantina, meaning 40, referring to the 40-day isolation period imposed on ships during the Black Death in the 14th century. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I knew it.
Quarantina.
Yes. So it was one French word. So at least I knew it was from French.
Yeah, that's good.
1722, 19 VOC completeurs arrived in Batvia, were executed. First off, what the hell is a completeur? Okay, it's not telling me anything about that. So I'm just gonna do a quick search on this article. Okay, it's just telling me about what I just read. Okay. Oh well, it's not giving me any more information. 1745, Austria and Bavaria signed the peace treaty of Fusen, ending Bavaria's participation on the French side in the War of the Austrian Succession. So it sounds like to make them participate on the other side then, because it says specifically here on the French side. 1769, Madame du Barry became became French King Louis the 15th's official mistress. Okay. Official mistress. 1793, President Washington attended the opening of Ricketts, the first circus in the U.S. Cool. It's telling me to image search this really quick, so I'm going to do so while I'm doing that. Okay, we're not there yet. So, circus. Just want to read this plaque right here. Will it let me open image in new tab? Come on. Nope, it's not letting me. So, let's open image in new tab. Nope, okay. Oh well, I can't read it. We gotta keep on going though. It's 1804, Gioacchino Rossini performed as a singer in Imola, Italy at the age of only 12 years old.
Whoa.
Wow. That's a prodigy there.
Yeah.
This guy, Gioacchino Rossini, he was a composer. Oh, wow, he stayed in the industry. 1809, Battle of Eckmühl. Napoleon's French and Bavarian forces defeated the Austrians under the Archduke Charles at Eckmühl, Bavaria, giving Napoleon the strategic initiative for the rest of the War of the Fifth Coalition. Now, like a lot of people don't really fully understand. Like, when they study Napoleon history, is like it's the War of the First Coalition, Second Coalition, Third Coalition. What are all these wars of coalition? They are like various, if not all, of the rest of Europe banding together in a coalition against Napoleon, not against France, against the man.
Wow.
So now we have the 5th time that several powers banded together to bring down Napoleon, because he was the only reason why he lost. I wouldn't even consider it lost in because he did a land invasion in Russia, but he took his sweet time, and the Russian winter started coming in, and they didn't have the horses or the gear or any of the training for all that. In Russia, as they classically do, they did a scorched earth. They burned everything. Like, there was even a scene in the new Napoleon movie where Napoleon, like, he hears something, he steps out of his tent, and he sees the entire city of St. Petersburg on fire, and he's just like, "Oh, who set this?" And it's like, "They did." He's like, "No, they didn't." And, by they, like, the Russians, the natives, and everything. Like, the scene he's riding in right here, you see him like just he's just like, "Where is everybody?" Like, 300,000 souls just up and disappeared overnight, something like that. So, like he just watching, they burned their entire city down. So, like, all of Europe, like, this guy was a force of nature, Napoleon. 1817, Curico prohibited the use of white paint due to fierce or intense sunlight. That makes sense, because it reflects white paint.
Oh, yeah.
So, 1823, Baltic Club Exchange formed in London. Okay. 1823 as well, British inventor John Tyler's patented an inline roller skate he called the Volito, with a single row of 5 wooden wheels and a wooden sole, and a curved iron bar at the front as a rudimentary brake. The rollerblade, not the roller skate, but the rollerblade. Here's an actual comic. You see this guy is like standing there. He's in the middle of a twirl. He's skating away, and these guys are like probably like, "Harumph, how dare you have fun? How about my god?" Like as old people do. But there's I want to show you the actual skate. This thing right here. This is the makeshift stop, the breaker, right there on the toe. But that's
so they had the rollerblades from way back.
Yes.
1800s.
1823, and actually this one is wild. I would like to try this. They're little bicycles, but no, you step, and then they pump.
They go, I got it.
That's awesome. I want to try that. So. What else do we got here? 1836, Texas Revolution. A day after the Battle of San Jacinto, forces under Texan General Sam Houston identified Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna among the captives of the battle, when some of his fellow soldiers mistakenly gave away his identity. Yeah. Like, he was in lineup he was dressed like a peasant and nobody knew. And then some soldiers was like, "Hey, you're Santa Anna." It's like, "Shut up." It's like, trying to get out of here, you imbecile. 1836, Texas Revolution. We got that one. 1838, English steamship Sirius docked in New York City after crossing the Atlantic. First transatlantic steam passenger service. And I have a photo of that. That's an artist's rendition right there of it pulling in, it looks like. But that's they still have the wooden masts, but this was the first steamship. It had steam power. I'm not sure if this is the first time it was only steam power to be used, because it used to be that they primarily still did sails, but when there wasn't much wind, then they used their steam. So, 1848, Captain James Fitzjames and 105 surviving crew departed their ice-trapped ships for safety in Arctic Canada. All later, unfortunately, perished. They were part of Joseph Franklin's doomed Northwest Passage expedition. So,
the Northwest Passage.
Yep. 1864, U.S. minted 2 cent coin. This is the first appearance of "In God We Trust." And also, for the other source, says the U.S. Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1864 that permitted the inscription of "In God We Trust" to be placed on all coins minted as U.S. currency. So I remember that you were talking about back in your day, they were making a harumph about putting it on the dollar bill and all that stuff. Or no, that was the under God and the Pledge of Allegiance, right?
Yeah.
I was mistaken. Okay. So, but this is the start of it. This is
they put, when I was in elementary school, early years, they added
Under God. Oh, that's what I was mistaken. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, 1871, all German Jews were emancipated after the German Constitution adopted by its last state, Bavaria. Well, that would not last long, unfortunately. 5 years later, the first official National League baseball game was played. Boston Red Caps defeated the Philadelphia Athletics 6-5 at the Jefferson Street grounds in Philadelphia. All right. 1876, Philadelphia native Tim McGinley of the Boston Red Caps scored baseball's National League's first run in Philadelphia. And this is that team from the previous article. Look how old that photo is.
Yeah.
But that's them.
That's cool.
Immortalized forever. That's awesome. We also have Piotr Ilyich Tarkovsky completed his ballet Swan Lake.
Oh.
So, yeah. 1884, Thomas Stephen left San Francisco on the first bicycle trip around the world, taking him 2 years and 9 months. And he did it on one of these.
Talked to him about him once before.
Probably when he came back.
Could be.
I mean, 9 months ago would have been in this year, right? Like, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because it's been 4 months now. Yeah, we're on the 4th month. And
so 9 months is 13, so no, it wouldn't be this year.
Well, no. Okay, what I'm saying is it took him 2 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
So would that 9 months have been within the 4 months that we've already spent in? Like,
it would have been January or something.
Yeah.
2 years later.
Yeah, I think that we covered it in January. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but he did it on that bicycle. One of those. Wow, that's incredible. 1884, U.S. recognized King Leopold II's Congo Free State. He basically used that as slave labor and all that stuff, and masquerading as humanitarian. 1889, a 1.9 million acre tract of Indian territory for a white colonial settlement in Oklahoma officially started at 12 p.m. Formed with populations of at least 10,000. Oh yeah, within hours of the Oklahoma City within hours, the cities of Oklahoma City and Guthrie were formed with populations of at least 10,000. Sorry, I was reading that from another article. So that's crazy. So within hours of that starting, 2 cities manifested on stolen land. 1894, the very first Venice Biennial opened in Venice, Italy, as a biennial exhibition of Italian art. All right, biennial. Like, how do you pronounce this word here?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Biennial. I don't know. It's something Italian.
Biennial?
No idea. 1897, New York City Jewish newspaper Forward began publishing, and it's still active. All right. 1898, Baltimore James Hughes no-hit Boston Braves 8-10, and we also have Cincinnati Reds Theodore Brerenstein no-hits Pirates 11-0. So 2 no-hits on the same, 2 different games, all the way back in 1898. And we have Congress passed Volunteer Army Act calling for a volunteer cavalry. That makes sense. U.S. President McKinley ordered blockade of Cuban harbors, I think during the Spanish-American War. Or no, wasn't that later on? I'm not sure anymore.
Spanish-American War, I think, was later than
1898.
Oh, 1898.
Oh, this could have been during the Spanish-American War. Yeah.
For some reason, I looked at it as 1808.
You're thinking Spanish-Mexican or Mexican-U.S. War, because we've been to war with Mexico and with Spain, but 2 different times. 1903, American Powerboat Association formed. All right. 1903 as well, New York Highlanders, later to become the Yankees, had their first MLB game, losing 3-1 with a 11,950 crowd, and they were reversing the Washington Senators at American League Park. All right. 1905, operations began uniting the Conservatory of Nature Monument Amsterdam. Don't know what the heck that is, but that sounded interesting. Intercalated Games opened in Athens, 1906. They were not recognized as part of the official Olympic Games, though, but they basically acted as such. We also have a new rule, put umpire in sole charge of all game balls. Okay, he's the ball master then. 1908, 1908, Queensland defeated New South Wales by 171 runs for their first cricket win at Gabba. There's a pad. Here. There you go. And
now, just going back to the umpire deal.
Yeah.
Even today, the umpire always puts the ball in play. You know, if they foul one off, you know how he reaches in and gets another ball?
I have not seen a baseball game in many years. I never saw that. I believe you.
Yeah.
So,
Either hands it to the catcher or throws it out to the pitcher.
all right. I have some jokes, but I'm gonna.
Only balls and strikes here.
1914, Babe Ruth's first professional game as a pitcher was a 6-hit, 6-0 win. Huh. 1915, first military use of poison gas occurred when Germany used chlorine gas against the Allies at the Battle of Ypres in World War I, occurring at the Western Front, and this was in France. So during the second Battle of Ypres, from the other source it says, and I actually have like a clip for that there.
Poison gas!
Poison gas. 1915, New York Yankees donned the pinstripes and hat in the ring logo for the first time. So is that their
Hat in the ring.
hat in the ring? What does that mean?
Well, I don't know about the.
Oh, I guess the Yankees. This was the Yankees.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
With
Yeah.
The
that
hat
is.
and the
Okay.
baseball in the ring.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the original logo back in the day. Weird. What else do we got here? 1916, Chief of Staff of the Irish Volunteers, Arion MacNeill, issued the countermanding order in Dublin to try to stop what would become the Easter Rising. So it sounds like it happened anyway. Chinese troop transport ship Hisin Yu and cruiser Haiyang collided in a fog south of the Chusan Islands, killing about 1,000 people. Yikes. Carl Spindler scuttled the Odd near Don's Rock to prevent the cargo of 20,000 rifles destined for Irish Republicans falling into enemy hands. We've covered this for the past couple of days. How very much like how the Germans tried to get Mexico to fight us. They were trying to do some clandestine stuff to help the Irish in their struggle for independence that they're still fighting for to this day. Believe me or not, from England. 1924, Hague Chambers of Commerce formed. And that's fairly somewhat important in the Hague. Like, that's majorly world political area, the Hague in the Netherlands. So, 1 century ago, 1926, Persia.
You pronounce the Hague?
Probably Hague, Hague.
Yeah.
I don't know. 1 century ago, 1926, Persia, Turkey, and Afghanistan signed treaties of security. Okay. 30. British troops battled pro-independence revolutionaries in the Jalalabad Hills near Chittagong, Bengal Province, British India. 80 troops and 12 revolutionaries were killed. So this is during India trying to become independent. We also have U.S., Britain, and Japan signed the London Naval Treaty. From the primary source, it sounds like a whatever article. But it says here the United Kingdom, Japan, and the United States signed the London Naval Treaty regulating submarine warfare and limiting shipbuilding. From the other source, so that's a lot more substantial. 33, Dutch government forbade left-wing radio address. That's not cool. Yeah, I don't like that. 34, U.S. Division of Investigation. Later, the FBI, under Melvin Purvis, botched an operation to capture the John Dillinger gang at Little Bohemia Lodge, Manitowish Waters in Wisconsin, with 2 dead and 4 injured.
Ooh.
Yikes.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, that's a whoopsie. 1937, New York City college students staged 4th annual peace strike. And 1940, Rear Admiral Joseph Tossling testified before U.S. Senate Naval Affairs Committee that war with Japan was inevitable. Now, I'm not sure, because we've spoken about an official saying war was inevitable and all that stuff earlier this year. I remember covering that article at least once, but it might have been a different situation, or it could have been a misplaced article, because we've seen how many things have been deleted, edited, added. So history is water, man. In 1943, RAF, the Royal Air Force, shot down 14 German transport planes over the Mediterranean Sea. What were they doing?
Jeez.
Wow. 44, during World War II, the 1st Air Commando Group, using Sikorsky R-4 helicopters, staged the first use of helicopters in combat, with combat search and rescue operations in the China-Burma-India theater. They use these little tiny helicopters. Look at that.
Look, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 1st helicopter squad with their safari helmets. So. 1945, the Battle of Berlin. Upon being informed that a planned counterattack never happened, Adolf Hitler flew into a rage, denouncing the German army and concedes World War II is lost. Yep, about time you figured that out. We also have Sachsenhausen concentration camp in Oranienburg, Germany, was liberated by the Polish army. Also, the Red Army. The other source said soldiers of the Red Army and the Polish First Army. So give credit where credit is due. Don't forget the Ruskies. 1945, the SS chief Heinrich Himmler secretly met with Count Folke Bernadotte of Sweden, asking him to act as an intermediary for a surrender offer to the Western Allies. The Allies did not take the offer seriously. Wow. Wow. 45 as well. Prisoners of the Jansenovat concentration camp revolt. 520 were killed, but around 80 escaped. So
Wow.
80 out of 520. And whoever else was left over. Loons time. Socialist Unity Party of Germany. The SED was founded in East Germany via a merger of the Social Democratic Party of Germany, the SPD, and the Communist Party of Germany, the KPD. That's not good.
No.
1948 Arab-Israel War. The port city of Haifa was captured by Jewish forces. 52, the first atomic explosion in network news, Nob, Nevada. So the first atomic explosion shown on network news from the Nevada test site. Now I have a little video here to show you really quick.
Well, there's always been a conspiracy theory that basically the U.S. military was faking these bomb tests to freak out the Russians.
How did they fake it?
Okay, so here's the question, right? So what happened to the camera?
You son of a...
How is that happening yet the camera is like totally stable and fine?
Oh my god.
And by the way, and the film is fine. The radiation didn't cause any damage to the film.
Oh my god.
The car's right behind the house. It just showed up.
Oh,
okay.
it just showed up.
So wait a minute. First of all,
wasn't there.
First of all, where'd the car come from?
No car.
The second is, does it really look like
car?
Does that look like a real car?
What?
Right. So like, anyway, I don't know. Like,
Just saying. Just saying.
Wow.
Just saying. You know? Just saying.
That's a really good clip.
You know, like, you know, this is why I'm always freaking out about, like, we don't know what we don't know. Like, keep your mind open to things, because everything that you know today, what's that line from Men in Black? 100 years ago, people knew yada yada. 50 years ago, people knew yada yada, and then 10 minutes ago, you knew yada yada. What are you gonna know tomorrow? Everything you know is a lie. Yeah, and everything that is truth, we don't know. Is the world round? Is it flat? Are we under a firmament? Is there space? I don't know. So keep your mind open, because we don't know. It might be true. Anyway, 1954, NBA adopted 24-second shot clock and 6-team foul rule.
What? Oh, 6-team foul.
6-team.
No.
6-team. 1954. Where is it?
First off, the 24-second clock started in 2054. I'm really surprised.
That's what it says.
Oh, that's okay. What that means? I'm trying to figure out the way they wrote it. I know what they mean. It's a player is allowed 6 fouls.
Oh.
And they're out.
Oh, okay. So, well, it says 6. So
They're
it sounds
saying
like
it wrong. They're saying that.
It sounds like the team is allotted 6 fouls.
No, each individual, because that's what they have now. You're allowed 6. You're allowed
Maybe
5.
they
6. You're out.
Maybe they changed it from this.
No, they have it as 6-team fouls, but that's not what they mean.
Okay.
Because, the game would be. What are you gonna do? Cancel the game with 16 fouls? You lose.
Yeah.
And there's way more than 6 fouls in the game, is what I'm saying. So they just haven't. They've said it wrong, but they adopted the rule of 6 fouls and you're out.
Okay. 1954 as well. U.S. Senate Army McCarthy televised hearings began. Witnesses began testifying in live television coverage of the Army McCarthy hearings during the Red Scare. Mm-hmm. We also have USSR joined UNESCO, so that's part of the UN that they were able to join. That's really interesting. 55 as well. KC Athletics first game defeating the Tigers 6-2. All right. 2 years later, all National League basketball teams integrate. John Irwin Kennedy became the first black player for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Ooh, big.
Cool, yeah. 59, Chicago White Sox defeated Kansas City Athletics 20-6 in 1 inning. Sox score 11 runs on 1 hit, 10 walks, and 3 errors. Holy shit. What the hell? How is that even possible? Like, wow. 59, Chicago, we got that one. 59 as well. Yankee Whitey Ford struck out 15, defeating Senators 1-0 in 14 innings. Dang.
Whitey Ford, great one.
Yep. MLB pitcher, it says, yep. 62, New York Mets tie National League record by losing 9 straight to start season. That's not good.
No.
62 as well, the Pirates tie then record of 10 straight wins to start season. So we have the
good.
ultimate bad and ultimate good in one day. 64, World's Fair at Flushing Meadows, Corona Park in New York opened. Okay. 66, Atlanta Braves won their first game, defeating New York Mets 8-4. 66 as well, the Trogs' second single, Wild Thing, dun, 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 dun,
oh, man.
was released,
The Trogs.
topping the charts in July. Yeah, that's a good song. 1969, the first human eye transplant was performed. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. 69 as well, Bernadette Devlin, the youngest woman ever to be elected to Westminster, made a controversial maiden speech in the House of Commons concerning the situation in Northern Ireland. Dude, even she knows it. Just, yeah. Robin Knox Johnson ended 312 days of non-stop sailing to become the first person to perform a single-handed non-stop circumnavigation of the world. Excellent. Good job. Jolly good show there. 69, the formation of the Communist Party of India, which was Marxist-Leninist, was announced as a mass rally in Calcutta. Yikes. 1970, first Earth Day celebrated, founded by Gaylord Nelson. Okay. New York Met, Jerry Groves set a record of 20 putouts by a catcher. And New York Met Tom Seaver struck out last 10 Padres for a total of 19.
Oh, that's
wow.
That's more than two strikeouts an inning.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 18. So he did that. He struck out the side once.
Nice. 1970 as well, Senators defeated Yankees 2-1 in 18 innings. That took a while. And we have Chicano residents in San Diego. So I guess Chicano, California, occupied a site under the Coronado Bridge, leading to the creation of Chicano Park. And this is an image of it. Whoops. This is an image of it right there. So it's under the bridge. And you know the Coronado Bridge, the one that goes way up. Like in San Diego, huge bridge. Yeah, this is under it, one of the sections. They occupied and made a park there.
Ah, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's called Chicano, by the way.
Chicano, okay. 1971, Soviet spacecraft Soyuz 10 was launched as the world's first mission to the first ever space station, the Salyut 1. However, the docking was unsuccessful, but the cosmonauts returned to Earth, I believe, safely. 72, an 11-year-old boy was killed by a rubber bullet fired by the British Army in Belfast. He was the first to die from a rubber bullet impact. And where's Belfast?
Huh?
Where's Belfast?
In Ireland.
Yep, there we go. Here we go again. 72, NASA Apollo 16 astronauts John Young and Charles Duke rode the lunar rover on the moon, allegedly. If we actually have ever been to the moon, I don't know anymore.
I wonder if they needed a moon driver's license.
I don't know. Are they going to get pulled over? Who's going to ticket them? A freaking gray, like, ree, flying saucer? Like, hit him with a tractor beam, pull over! 1976, Barbara Walter became the first female U.S. nightly network news anchor on ABC. Awesome.
They gave her the nickname Barbara Wawa.
Oh, okay. Is it just wah, 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 wah? Or?
It was just Barbara Wawa. I don't know. It was probably on Saturday Night Live or something.
Like, is it because the way she talks, or was it just mocking, like, that she was talking? Okay.
Mocking her in general.
That's kind of rude. 76 as well, director Ingmar Bergman left Sweden due to taxation. That would make sense. 77, optical fiber was first used to carry live telephone traffic.
Ooh.
Wow. We'll get to that in a minute. Not sure if you saw the devastation there. But there's an image here I want to show you. I want to read. Yeah, 77, both AT&T and GTE installed fiber optic telephone systems in Chicago and Boston, respectively. These successful applications led to the increase of fiber optic telephone networks. Awesome. What is this one? So that's a whole other thing. I'm not going to read all that. We got to keep on going here. 1979, keyboardist Brent Maitland played his first concert as a member of the Grateful Dead at the Spartan Stadium, San Jose, California. Deadhead there.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones played 2 benefit concerts for the Canadian National Institute for the Blind in Oshawa, Ontario, performance part of guitarist Keith Richards' heroin conviction sentence.
Ooh.
Oh, so he was serving time there.
Well, he had to give back to the community.
Yeah. What a great way to do it.
Yeah.
81, 10,000 copper workers in Chile strike. That's a lot. Oh, copper workers.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they may
miners.
Well, they might, like, you know, smelt the copper,
Oh,
like, you know,
true.
and form
True.
copper,
True.
whatever you do with copper. So, over what? Wages, hours, you know, for how long?
Who knows?
So, and then at that same time, the same year, so this happened on the same day, almost 1 million West German metal workers went on strike. So something's happening.
Jeez.
You know, they're Chile and Germany, two different sides of the world. What's happening? Something wild. 81, MLB Los Angeles Dodgers rookie pitcher Fernando Valenzuela tossed his 3rd shutout in 4 starts.
Fernando Mania.
Yeah. 81 as well, MLB Los Angeles Dodgers rookie pitcher, we got that one. More than $3.3 million was stolen from the First National Bank of Arizona in Tucson, and then the largest U.S. bank robbery in history. Wow.
That's quite the haul.
Yeah, it is. What is now the largest? Question mark. And I wonder if David Rush had anything to do with it. Well, he's trying to break records. You know, hopefully not those. So, 82, Atlanta Braves lost after winning first 13 games of seasons. So that's a good start.
Very good.
83, start of the first Sri Lanka Test cricket match at Kandy. All right. 83 as well, Stern Mag announced major historical find discovery of 60-volume personal diaries written by Adolf Hitler, later to be turned out to be a hoax. But what a stupid thing to do. Why? Terrible. 84, CBS premiere of TV film Pope John Paul II, starring Albert Finney in title role. I'd like to see that. So,
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
neither have I. I'm just going to add this into my my watch list. So,
Sounds interesting.
The Bunker, CBS, Wars and Habits. These are all things, you know, like I'm making notes.
Yeah.
And I have IOYO notes over here. So, these are my underbar links. 1987, Ao's time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sri Lanka Air Force bombed Tamil, killing hundreds. Whoa. Okay, that's a terrible thing to happen on my year. Now, I don't know why, but every time I see it like these, you know, 100, you know, to be for hundreds,
Yeah.
it
See
annoys
what
me.
now?
Every time I see them write it like this is meant to be hundreds.
Oh, okay.
I see 100s. What?
Yeah.
100s? No, just type in hundreds. You lazy mofo. Like, I don't know. It just bothers me. It really does. 1988, New Jersey Devil Patrick Sunstorm set NHL playoff record of 8 points in a playoff game, hat trick and 5 assists, and a 10-4 rout over the Capitals. All right. 88, women were allowed to compete in Little 500 bicycle race, Indiana. All right. 1990, Lebanon released U.S. hostage Robert Polhill after 39 months. That's a while. 91, earthquake struck Costa Rica and Panama, killing 95 people.
Ooh.
Yikes. We'll get to that picture in a minute. I want to know what the scale is per colleague, you know, how much damage, how many injuries, deaths.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't tell me
Yeah.
anything there. 1991 as well, Frank Thomas was the first White Sox to homer at the new Comiskey Park. Cool. So, up here. So, 91, Intel released a lower cost i46XS SX microprocessor. Okay. Johnny Carson announced he will retire next year from The Tonight Show. He was there for a while.
Oh, a long time.
91, Salom America, a Jewish cable network, was launched in Brooklyn and Queens. I wonder if they're still going on. 92, 6.1 earthquake under the Little San Bernardino Mountains near Joshua Tree, California.
Oh, out of the desert.
Yeah. But I wonder, like, you know, how much damage, injuries, deaths, you know, once again, at least it's telling us the magnitude.
Yeah.
So, a gas exploded in a sewer, killing 200 people in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, like, I'm going to bigger this here. Oh. A series of gas explosions ripped through the streets in Guadalajara, Mexico, killing 206. Telling me to image search this. But yeah, because there's other images, but just there's a taxi in there. Look at that.
Oh God, I didn't even know.
I didn't see anything. I just saw. Wait, that's not a Twinkie or a banana. That is a taxi cab automobile. But yeah, here's black and white photos. There's a bus.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that aerial shot. Maybe I should have used this. Look at that.
Ooh.
It almost looks like the highway of death in Afghanistan or whatever during the first Iraq invasion. What else do we got here? 92 plane crash at Paris Valley Airport, California, killed 16 parachutists. That's a terrible way to come down. 93 candid camera creator Alan Funt suffered a stroke at 78. All I can say is karma's a bitch. 93 Holocaust Memorial Museum dedicated in Washington, D.C. And the web browser Mosaic version 1.0 was released. All right. 18-year-old Stephen Lawrence was murdered in a racially motivated attack while waiting for a bus in Wellhall, Itham. That's terrible.
So was he black or white?
Stephen Lawrence. Well, you know, I'm gonna
tell us.
Well, it's not a white guy, that's for sure. He's a black kid.
Okay.
So yeah, no. They don't count people killing whites as racially motivated over here. They never have. 94, 7,000 Tutsis slaughtered by Hutus in the stadium at Kibuye, Rwanda. Wow. That's horrifying. 94 as well, U.S. figure skater Tonya Harding sued ex-husband Jeff Gilliathy of $42,500. Isn't she the one who got stabbed, or is she the one who stabbed?
No. She's the one that whacked the knee of the other one.
Okay. Okay, so there are two ice skating incidents, right? Like, because there's one where she, like, somebody's bodyguard. No, this is the same one. Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Was the victim. Okay. So Tonya Harding is
the perpetrator.
Yeah. Okay. So, wow. Of course she's suing her ex-husband. She's a piece of shit. 94. Borge Ausland was the first person on a solo and unsupported journey to reach the North Pole. How do you prove that, though, if nobody's there to witness it?
Footprints.
Okay, I guess so. I mean, that makes sense. Like, you can track him by satellite by 94. True. We also have the world's largest lollipop weighing 3,011 pounds made by Bon Bon, a candy factory in Holm, Austria, Denmark. The record was later broken.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. By what? Like, what's the
largest
record now? Question mark. Parenthesis. Let's see if there's an image of this thing. Holy crap. Like, look at the size of that. Well, that's next to a kid. But this is, this looks like a YouTuber. Yeah, he made that himself.
Yeah.
But maybe this was it. But that looks metal? Question mark? Well, that might be candy.
I don't know.
Well, there you go. Guinness World Record, largest lollipop, 6,706 pounds. So that is it. That is a lollipop there.
But that's bigger than the one that's on here.
Yes. Well, I think that might be the one that broke it.
Yeah, it could
yeah.
be.
So, anyway, what else do we got here? 1997. House chemistry massacre in Algeria. 93 villagers were killed. From the other source, it says House chemistry massacre near Bouguer in Algeria. An armed group killed 93 villagers for refusing to provide food and supplies. Terrible. The Japanese embassy hostage crisis ended in Lima, Peru. Why was there a Japanese embassy hostage crisis? Why did it happen? What with who? Like, how long? How many were involved? I need details. I've never heard of. It's usually us who has some kind of hostage crisis somewhere in an embassy. I've never really heard of any other country having something like that.
I'm sure there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
Just not aware.
98, Disney's Animal Kingdom opened at Walt Disney World near Orlando, Florida. Okay. 99, Luis Gravado, the Beast Tribolin, Colombian serial killer, described as, quote, the world's worst serial killer. 138 to 300 plus victims apprehended. And wouldn't that make him the best, or is that only for the highest kill count without getting arrested? Because he's known as the world's worst serial killer. You know, right here in quotations. So if it, but you know, if it was the
catch him if he's known for that now.
Yeah, but then who's like the world's best serial killer? The one who hasn't been caught? Yeah. Like do they like what's the credentials for that? It's a morbid question, but I want answers. So 2000, in a pre-dawn raid, federal agents seized 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez from his relative's home in Miami, Florida. He was a Cuban kid, remember?
Yes. The
big number change took place in the United Kingdom. What the hell is that? The big number change. I'm going to look this up here really quick.
I have no idea.
Big number change. Addressed various issues with telephone dialing plan in the United Kingdom during the late 1990s and early 2000s when the country was running short of new telephone numbers. Oh, well that makes sense. So they had to revamp their whole UK's, or K, no. Why can't I type period S? Big number change. These links will be in the underwear description below after the live stream. So yeah, they had to redo all of their phone numbers and everything.
Oh, we had to change ours.
Yeah.
A number of times.
Yeah. Area codes and all that jazz.
Yeah.
2003, Patrick Roy played his final career in an NHL game. Okay. We also have 2 fuel trains in 2004 collided in Ryongchon, North Korea, killing up to 150 people. 150. Oh, wow. We have an update. Destroying 1,850 houses and killing a large but unknown amount of people. Now, wait a minute. You said here it killed up to 150 people. And this was from you, source. This was from that source. They changed it. Now they're saying the amount is unknown, but that makes no sense. You had it on there. I saw it last night.
Huh.
That's weird. Primary source edited. Source. Yeah, that's very odd. So 18 fonts and Times New Roman text. There we go. All right. Moving on up. What else do we have here in 2003? 2004. 2005. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihiro Koizumi apologized for Japan's wars record. Japan's war record. Yeah, what they did and everything.
Horrific.
Yeah, about time they did.
You know, everybody knows about the Holocaust, but nobody knows what the Japanese did to the Chinese. Far worse. Millions and millions were killed.
The Chinese don't control our media. 2006, 4 Canadian soldiers were killed in 75 kilometers north of Kandahar, Afghanistan, by a roadside bomb planted by Taliban militants. The worst single-day combat loss for the Canadian Army since the Korean War. That's, you know, that's...
I didn't even know they were involved in the Korean War.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess obviously.
Yeah. 2006, Nepali security forces opened fire on pro-democracy protesters demonstrating against King Gyanendra, injuring hundreds. The protesters went on to secure the restoration of parliament and a federal state. All right. 2016, a Paris Agreement on climate change was signed in New York, binding 195 nations to an increase in the global average temperature to less than 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and to pursue efforts to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. All this stupid environmentalism gobbledygook. 2018, bus crash in North Korea killed 36, with most of them being Chinese tourists. Well, I mean, that's what you get for supporting communism and for touring frickin' North Korea. What are you doing? You know?
What kind of tourist goes to North Korea?
Chinese. To marvel at how oppressive communism really can be, I guess, you know? 2018, gunmen opened fire at a Waffle House in Nashville, Tennessee. That's a terrible place to do that. Killing 4 before James Shaw Jr. wrestled the rifle from the gunman's hand. So he went in there with a freaking big gun. That's crazy. And a Waffle House is a Marvel thing. Like, you know that there's literally such a thing as called the Waffle House Index, in which the National Weather Bureau uses that to describe the severity of a storm?
What?
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, hold on. Like let me bring this up. Waffle House Index. The Waffle House Index. It is a metric named after the southern U.S. restaurant chain Waffle House, known for its 24-hour, 365-day service. Because the restaurant chain is always open, it has given rise to an informal but useful metric to determine the severity of a storm and the likely scale of assistance required for disaster. Meaning, if the Waffle House is closed, you're fucked. So that's literally what it means. If it's open, you have a chance. If the Waffle House closes, pray to whatever God you believe in, because you're about to see him. 2018, Liverpool's Egyptian soccer forward Mohamed Salah was named Professional Footballers Association Player of the Year. Cool. And we have Saudi-led coalition airstrike killed more than 20 at a wedding in northwestern Yemen. We covered that yesterday, right? There's like 22 deaths at a wedding?
I don't remember.
I could have sworn. 2019, Marvel film Avengers Endgame, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and an ensemble cast, premiered in Los Angeles, California. What does Vin Diesel have to do with that? Oh, what was... I didn't realize Vin Diesel was in the Avengers movies. Huh. 2020, Sudan banned female genital mutilation and made it a criminal offense. Good?
Yeah.
Duh? Like, why does that even need to be a law? Of course, that's obvious. 2020, 4 police officers are killed after being struck by a truck on the Eastern Freeway in Melbourne while speaking to a speeding driver, marking the largest loss of police lives in Victoria police history. Yikes. This is why you pull over and you go around the other side. You know, there's actually a video. This guy, let's see here if I can find it really quick. Police, this is why I stand here. Police dash cam. Let's see if I can find it. Well, anyway, there's some clip where he's standing on the other side of the car, and the driver is just like, "Oh, why are you standing over there?" He's like, "I stand over here because people like to speed out." And right as he's explaining, a car comes and takes the mirror off. Like,
I think
that's
you
why.
showed me that.
Yeah. 2021, U.S. President Brandon pledged to cut U.S. carbon emissions by 50 to 52% below 2005 levels by 2030 at a virtual climate summit. That is just not possible. That's ridiculous. 2023, editor of German magazine Die Aktuelle was sacked after running a so-called interview generated by AI with F1 racing driver Michael Schumacher. Wow.
So it was a phony interview.
Yeah, straight up. That's stupid. You know, in today's world, why would you fake anything of that caliber? That is dumb.
Cost him his job.
Yeah. 2023, foreign countries began evacuating their citizens out of Khartoum, Sudan's capital, as fighting continued to escalate, with WHO and UN saying over 400 people are killed and 200,000 have fled the country. Yikes. 2023 as well, record outbreak of dengue fever in northwest Argentina killed over 40 people and infected over 60,000. We also have Britain's parliament approved a controversial bill to send asylum seekers to Rwanda. Well, yeah, fuck them. You know, I don't care. I don't want to deal with them over here. We have enough problems. I'm sorry. 2024, widespread flooding across southern China forced the evacuation of 110,000 people with warning of a once-in-a-century flood on the Bai River. I wonder if it did flood. And this time last year, at least 5,000 residents were evacuated as wildfires burned across 12,500 acres in Pine Barrens, New Jersey.
Jeez.
That's horrifying. And then we have Earth Day. National Geographic released a new documentary, Secrets of the Penguins, featuring the first drone footage of the world of penguin chicks jumping off a 50-foot cliff to take their first swim. Wow. So they're little babies, 50.
Yeah.
Wow. I would never do that. And we have gunmen killed at least 26 people, mostly Indian tourists, and injured a dozen others in Falaglam, Kashmir. Militant group known as the Resistance Front claimed responsibility through social media. So the group is known as Lashkar-e-Taiba. An offshoot, well, actually no, it's an offshoot of the Pakistan-based militant group Lashkar-e-Taiba. My bad. So that's terrible. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition, and these will be down there too after these live streams. You know, so much history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. within this hour. We made it in the hour. Believe it or not.
Again, we did.
Yeah, with a 31-page article or
Wow.
document. All this time, going through, that's what we went in this past hour here. It is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each of individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness. With a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow, and to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from their own, and find a better way to be better to one another. Because...
I'm okay, you're okay.
Yep, for your dose of passive insanity, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, thank you so much for coming in and watching us. And until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!